Well, g'day. So we all know that there's always the story about the quiet guy who lives alone and ends up being the serial killer. Well, I've got nothing against breakfast foods whatsoever, but sometimes they're the creepy ones who sit in the silence and work things out. And I'm one of those ones. I listen to various random whatevers when I'm driving sometimes, and I was listening to Glitches in the Matrix for quite some time, and eventually they got a bit boring because you keep hearing the same stories over and over, and somehow or another I found that started listening to the dark web stories, and some of them are quite interesting. Like shit. I mean, they're scary. What people are confessing to what they've done, what happened to them, makes me think, well, thank fuck, I've never dabbled in the dark web, but have I? Maybe I have. I did actually once download the Tor. Oh, there's a little dog. I better let him in. Oi, where you been, you little mongrel? Alright. Okay, let him in. This way. Come on. This way. Come on. He's pretty smart. Come on. Atta boy. You don't like stepping over that sliding door for some reason. It's the second time I've noticed him being extremely hesitant about that. Anyway, I'm just here making a last minute rant before I run out of battery and memory. And this one I think is, I know, there's long pauses and shit. I don't edit out my pauses. I'm not that sort of video maker. How you doing, little fella? You all good? Yeah. Oh, that my boy. He's such a beauty. I guess 1 second. Such a beautiful little boy. All right. I have to turn the camera back now because I forgot to put clothes on. So yeah, this dark web stuff, it's quite intriguing. And it's had my mind in a bit of a twiz. Because all this dark stuff that's going on, and don't get me wrong, you probably don't want to hear half the stuff I've heard. It is dark, like you just don't want to hear about that sort of stuff. And I'm not here to judge, like if people want to go and kidnap people and eat them live on camera and make thousands of dollars in Bitcoin and whatever to do that, then so be it, Personally, I make my money just working on the roads and doing legitimate income earning stuff. So I'm a good guy. I'm not one of ones that descended to the dark side. However, it has me thinking, because a lot of these people who have been suckered in to the dark side and become victims of always having to leave their webcam on, for example, no matter what, whether they're dressing, undressing, showering, going to the bathroom. Apparently the people that get filmed doing that have an audience who will pay even more for that sort of depraved sort of stuff. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The more depraved stuff gets worse and worse. And so the people who get suckered into that get into this situation where they get threatened and shown examples of people who, when they refuse to do what they're told and they do turn their webcam off, they are shown people who are basically living in a room with no windows, no doors, just a mattress, and that's how people enjoy watching them. Sick, depraved shit. And that's the lighter side of what we're talking about. So obviously, everything has a level, which you would call neutral. The neutral level is where there's just nothing. The negative side of that is where there's something, and so it can go from levels of making people pick up a package and deliver it. And so they get trained to be obedient and keep on doing further and further and further and further depraved things, to the point where they cannot back out because their entire existence has been blackmailed, to the point where they have to completely change their identity and leave and go to another place. Anyway, I'm not here to focus on the dark shit, other than to say that there's a possibility that every single smoke detector, light bulb, anything could also be a camera watching you 24/7 your entire life and documenting it live, just like I am talking here, documenting this live right now. Thinking I'm making a unique video, meanwhile there could be the whole Truman Show number of population of people watching. And so you have to reach the point where it's like, well, let's just put on a good show, shall we? And this is what I'm doing. Because there's a converse side to everything. And the converse side is the dark side, the light side. Welcome to the lighter side. On the lighter side, unfortunately, there's even more cameras, more spies, more watching everything you do, because every molecule of existence, every thought, every little thing is existence. And everything you do is watched, observed, noted, recorded, judged, you name it. So that's why you better be a good cunt. Be a nice person. Find someone you can love and love them with all your heart. And don't let them down. Just be a good person. Because if you're not a good person, well, see that level there? You're going to go to the dark side. You do not want to go to the dark side. You might be interested and investigate it and dwell there for a little while, but what you really want to do is be above that. You want to go back to where you came from, which was the lighter side. We all come from there, every single one, even the darkest demons, all originated from the lighter side. And by our will, by our choice, by what we think, what we do, and how we behave, that determines which level we're going to exist upon. And it doesn't matter, like, you can't die. I mean, your physical meat suit that took you eons and eons and eons to get another one of, it can turn into other stuff. But there is no death. There's no such thing. Life is eternal. Your energy, your thoughts, your minds, who you are, your soul is eternal. So yeah, you might go out tomorrow and step in front of a bus and destroy your meat suit. And then your soul's going to go, oh, God damn, stupid idiot. Sometimes they might even create an entire new multiverse. An entirely new one. Almost identical to the last, but you start to notice those little glitches. When you do stupid things, you don't get stupid. When you do stupid things, you get the results you deserve. And I am not free from that. That's exactly why I'm here. Exactly why I'm here. Telling myself this so that when I watch this in the morning when I'm sober, I will listen to myself and say, Roscoe, this is reality. But everything is a figment of your imagination. But you had to imagine it in order to realize it. I thought that would send me up to a higher dimension. Maybe I'll try another way next time. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And my dog's a maniac. Jesus loves you, but everyone else thinks you're